James, you're my local restaurateur. You run 2 Italian restaurants in High Street, Kensington. I love going there. You're great guys.
That's right.
One of the oldest family Italian restaurants in the city. Is the oldest. But this is obviously devastating for everyone involved in the restaurant business and for pubs and for clubs and theatres and cinema and so on. You were vocal on Twitter yesterday in your anger at the lack of clarity from the Prime Minister.
Yes, so effectively, that's exactly right. I think he managed to undo all of the goodwill and all of the good work that was done by Rishi Sunak in his budget recently. He completely just put a massive damp towel over the whole of the restaurant business.
And the reason for that is the lack of clarity means that you don't know when the Prime Minister says, I suggest that people stop going out to these places, like your restaurants. It's not clear whether that is a government instruction or whether they are closing you down. But you've had no information from the government as to whether you should shut down. It's just being all left vague.
Absolutely. So all it is basically a complete dereliction of responsibility, moving it away from the shoulders of Number 10 and pushing it onto our shoulders here. They're basically making suggestions saying that we are allowed to stay open, but telling all our customers to stay away, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So we have to keep going if we don't have to. But I mean, if we choose to close down, then we forfeit the right for any insurance claims, and we therefore increase the chance of bankruptcy. Or, if we, but we have all the costs and all the business expenses associated with that. So it's really between, being put between the hammer and the anvil. And
there will be so many small businesses, restaurants, pubs, clubs and so on, all in the same position as you. What do you want to hear from the Chancellor and the Prime Minister today to try and remedy this?
So what we need is crack open the war chest. Take a lesson from what Macron has said, what Germany has said, what Canada has said. Get that money spending into the economy. And more importantly, you can use us in this fight to keep the community going. We're geared up for it. We've got a ready and willing task force. We've got industrial kitchens that are geared up to make deliveries, to batch make items, to deliver to people if needs be. But involve us in the plans, crack open the war chest, and just get a clear message out to us that you're on our side and that you're here for us and that we can work on this together with the grit and guts to get through this as a community.
And James, you've been doing a great thing with local people. You announced on your social media pages if any elderly people in particular needed some help with food or provisions or whatever. Tell us about that.
Right, so basically, if you live in the local vicinity and you're elderly or you're infirm, we will deliver all essential toiletries to you free of charge, assuming we can get them in. We're thankful, being a wholesaler in one sense, that we're almost one step ahead of the curve in terms of most people who are reliant on supermarkets. So we do have items in stock. We have a kitchen full of produce. We do have dry goods. Please get in contact with us if you live in the Kensington and Chelsea area, if you're elderly or infirm and you can't make it out to the shops or you can't find any loo roll or hand sanitizer, whatever it may be, and we will drop it off free of charge.
Good for you, James, because that's a really important issue for elderly at the moment.
But also another issue, will you be doing delivery of food? I mean, lots of delivery firms are out there, but should restaurants in this position, given there'll be almost no traffic coming in, is it sustainable to actually prepare food and deliver to local communities anywhere in the country?
I see no reason why not. We've got huge industrial kitchens. We need to leverage those kitchens. We need to be making bone broths. We need to be making high immunity foods to boost the elderly's immunity systems. We need leafy greens. We need turmeric. We need anti-inflammatory foods. And we should be delivering all of that to the people in need right now. And the government should be working with us and not hindering us on this.
I know your stores are trying to carve out time where the elderly can go, where they've got that protected time to be able to get access. But that's not, you haven't introduced that as a nationwide policy yet. Is that not the next step, to be able to say to the elderly people, right, you can then go, you can buy whatever you need at this time and no one else will be taking those stocks from you?
It's an idea that came from a store in West Belfast. We think it's a fantastic idea and we've encouraged all our stores to do this. But they are the experts for their local stores and their communities, and our stores are in the heart of their communities, and therefore we're letting the store managers make the individual decisions as to whether they carve out this time. But we think it's a great initiative and something we're encouraging them to do, but each store is different. I think it's really important that people try and shop responsibly. We have seen unprecedented panic buying, and therefore we think it's an important step to try and protect the elderly and also the vulnerable. But I just would like to take the opportunity to pay credit to our store teams who have been nothing short of heroic over the last 10 days or so. There's been real acts of kindness, and it's nothing short of inspiring. So I'd like to thank them all very much.
Are you working hand in hand with the other big supermarket chains? There seems a time when competition should be put to one side. The national interest is more important. The key thing, if we are going to be in this situation for months and months on end, is going to be ensuring the supply chain of food and basic essentials continues.
That's exactly right, Piers, and we're now having almost daily calls. So I've got a meeting with DEFRA and the supermarket CEOs today, and we're talking about how we can better coordinate, collaborate this crisis. And you're exactly right. Our main priority now is keeping the shops open, keeping the shops trading, doing as many onlines and home deliveries as possible, and making sure that we feed the nation.
Can I just check with you, Richard? Because, of course, you know, panic spreads panic, doesn't it? When people see all these pictures of empty shelves, that's when they want to head out and try and find anything. Can you reassure people that there are enough supplies, that they don't need to panic and rush out and get things unnecessarily?
I think it's really important to reassure the nation there is actually no need to panic. Whilst I fully understand why people are feeling anxious, there is enough food. There's enough food at Iceland. There's enough food in the supermarket sector. And, you know, people are short-term panic buying, but there's not any slowdown of production of the essentials and the food that people need. This is merely a supply chain challenge of getting things through the system quickly enough onto the shelf because of this unprecedented short-term spike that we're having in demand.